The pleasure of introducing to you Professor Scaltsa. Professor Scaltsa is a real person. It's not just a name. Hi. She exists. You saw her. She's a professor of history of art and museology, one of the leading figures of museology in Greece, and responsible directing the museology program, postgraduate program in Thessaloniki, which I have also the honor to teach some classes.
Sorry for not being with you yesterday, and I will not be with you tomorrow. We are, all of us at the Greek universities, overloaded. We have left very small numbers of teachers nowadays.
Discuss this morning.
Yeah, you discussed it. But I never denied to what Kostas is asking to me. And so I'm here with you with great pleasure. And I want to thank Eleftheria because she worked a lot on my paper, and she worked also during the event that I will present to you. Is it the first? Yeah, okay. So, stories of monuments at International Museum Day in Thessaloniki this year, 2015. The general theme for the International Museum Day was Museums for a Sustainable Society. Celebrating this occasion, postgrad museology students and staff of the MA Museology Program, in collaboration with students from various schools of the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, like Film Studies School, School of Architecture, School of Electrical Engineering and Computing, organized interpretative activities across the historical center of the town. Collaborating with cultural groups and organizations of Thessaloniki, we proposed a different view on well-known monuments of the city based on new and public history theory, on theory of representation, and on material culture theory in general, and the impact things have or used to have upon people and societies. Along with the above theoretical attitudes, while dealing with the monuments, we used various tools like images, theater narrative, educational games, ad hoc theater sets, sounds, videos, and moving images in order to attract visitors' participation. Before the celebrating day, 6 fiction videos had been created collaboratively by our MA Museology students and diploma students of the Film Studies School. As promo material, they could be seen on the YouTube, or they were presented in the tablets that our students had with them during these tours in the monuments that you will see following. Our main objective, main museological idea, dealing with monuments and considering them as exhibits in an open museum, was to highlight through them the perspectives and their uses as public spaces. The monuments we selected on and around the Aristotle Boulevard had to do with the fact that they represent a monumental palimpsest of the stories that comprise Thessaloniki, a live public space full of presences and absences of people, their memories or stories in the past. Historical, archaeological, and artistic research on monuments and historic places at the Aristotle Boulevard was presented in original narrative performances, new media shows, guided walks, and visits. That way, we had the opportunity to speak on matters such as socializing and gathering of people, community, memory, and the uses of public space through time. Furthermore, our own action acted as a pretense for people to gather and share memories and experiences, communicate their own histories, and heighten their awareness of the present past around them. Analyzing further the main museological interpretation of the axis of Aristotle Boulevard, we made focus on, first, what is the meaning of the public space in different historical contexts, 2, Are there gender, class, or ethnic identity issues regarding public space? 3. How religion communities have influenced space in time. 4. Is there any connection with the commercial life of the city? 5. How the political controversies and activism can be inscribed on public space. Through this interpretative action, we aim to map a different course through monuments, to meet and discuss with people, to listen and talk, and to interact. Because at the end of the day, public space is no more than the people who use it. After having decided about the main museological idea, public space and communication through history, course of time and culture, we proceeded in the final selection of monuments with more specific criteria, like their contribution as public spaces for communication and social life, their use by different ethnicities and/or religions through different moments in history. Those monuments were 1. Aristotle Square, 2. The Kapani Market, 3. Panagia Chalkeon Byzantine Church, 4. Bey Hammam Ottoman Baths, 5. Roman Forum, 6. Poet Anagnostakis Residence. Aristotle Square. Leave your square. I quote, "Since you were 12 years old, all of your dates were given there. 11:45, and you are speeding in order to catch the last bus to your home. You have posted the photo of the square at least once on your Facebook profile. But how well do you really know this famous landmark of the city? The design of the quarter of the city by the urban planner Ernest Ebrard after the Great Fire of 1917 was the starting point to discuss the multicultural character of the city. Aristotle Square was a fine example of how public space and urban planning can be a field of negotiation and battle amongst people and communities." The Kapani Market. People, thoughts, glances. Moments from the lively market of Kapani. Thoughts, words, and experiences shared in one of the most famous and traditional city markets of the city. Space and everyday people, giving meaning to it was the spotlight, appreciating gathering, communication, and exchange. The whole market is a unique place of colors, smells, taste, and sound, a crossroad of East and West. It was introduced to the people through an interactive game board that led to a narrative about its history and public role through times. Panagia Chalkeon Byzantine Church. Dining at Panagia Chalkeon. From the shared gatherings of the first Christian communities to the modern receptions and feasting, food and sharing are fundamental to Greek Orthodox Church. All this is part of the tradition aiming at the contact and the reciprocity of the community. From this perspective, the Byzantine monuments of Panagia Chalkeon acquires new meaning and focuses on different role in the urban landscape of the Aristotle Square. Bey Hammam Ottoman Baths, gathering. Through a discussion game and a sort of theatrical personification of two people, a man and a woman of the Ottoman period, who narrate their memories and their lives taking place at the Bey Hammam, participants, visitors, were guided to get to know the uses of Bey Hammam as a place of social gathering. Thus, Bey Hammam turned out to stand as a live monument. The Hammam is the oldest Ottoman monument of the city and was in use as a bath until the late 60s. Roman Forum. Their steps, our steps. What exactly are you looking for when you stray among Roman antiquities of a huge Roman forum with a lot and different uses from political and cultural to trade ones? Traces of the present or rather of the past? Who are most likely the ones to meet? Are they ghosts of the past? Time, space, people, The whole activity was an interactive role play, guiding people to solve the mystery of history while trying to find out what an inscription on a stone slab might mean. Poet Anagnostaki's residence, introducing the poet to his city. Having as a starting point the house of the childhood and early years of an important poet of Thessaloniki, Manolis Anagnostakis, we talked about his life, his studies, his political action, and his imprisonment. We discussed about his work and the deep influence of the historical, social, and cultural background of the city. We had decided to let the poet speak for himself, not through verses, but through his own commenting words and contextualize his whole biography. All of a sudden, during such an interpretative performance, aged people from the neighborhood, while participating in this activity, sang a famous Greek song based on the poet's lyrics. 34 postgrad museology students, after 2 days in the open city, speaking about acting in and out of the Aristotle Boulevard monuments and giving them life through their attitudes, through the role of culture in society, attracted about 2,000 people. All our visitors commented extremely positively on our interpretative museological activity, asking for the time that we could repeat it. We don't know yet. It took us more than 4 months of intensive work trying to find solutions not only on ideological matters of history and matters on theory of museology and interpretation, but to financial and other trivial ones like advertising and promoting the event. The posters, the leaflets, the banners, and the t-shirts that we wore was the design of 2 of our museology students, while the radio and TV presentation of another. The idea of red balloons was coming from past activities. Shall we do it again? We really don't know. It needs a lot of courage and energy, especially in days of crisis, and especially when it is not the first time. It is the 3rd time that we show to the city's institutions how friendly can the monuments be, how eloquently can speak if you just give them their voices, their human voices. And we really feel lonely.
I can play the videos first.
1 or 2 videos, just.
And afterwards, a video of the whole action as a whole.
It is one of the promo videos. Is it the Anagnostakis?
This is for the Malamatenia Scaltsa. And these are lyrics from his work.
Verses from his poems. Yeah. Πολύ ωραία τα μπαλόνια. Τα μπαλόνια λίγο πολύ ωραία.
This is from paper.
Μια έκφραση. Το θα έγραψε και μια πράξη. Υπάρχει και κάτι άλλο. Πιστεύω ότι η πίστη είναι τελικά μια αισιόδοξη λειτουργία. Αυτό άσχετα με το περιεχόμενο της.
Bravo!